Calling from a 901 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Joshua, and I'm calling from Puerto Rico.
Hi, Joshua. What's on your mind?
Well, this is more counter-programming, but it looks like this week that the Republicans in Congress are going to try to work to get their two tax bills together.
Yeah.
And there's a section in there that's going to hurt Puerto Rico a lot. It's actually interesting that it's a tax increase, and I think Americans for Prosperity is against it.
Huh.
Which is, interesting. But basically, I would like to tell your listeners to look up it more and also to contact their representatives to ask when they make the conference to put an exemption for Puerto Rico. Some people think that this change specifically will hurt Puerto Rico more than the hurricane.
Wow.
And,
it's a classic. Look, somebody described this as a $6 trillion tax cut with a $4.5 trillion of new taxes to pay off to bring it to a dollar number that would be sufficiently low enough to pass through the Byrd rule in terms of reconciliation. And clearly what we're seeing is this dynamic of we're going to cut taxes on super wealthy people, and we're going to raise them on people who either have very little political strength at this moment, or just broadly speaking, or those who we don't have, there's no political liability for to raise taxes on. So you may see the rollback of the state and local tax deductions, which will punish blue states that actually provide services to their citizens. And Puerto Rico is a perfect example. I mean, of it is in many respects, the wealth that's been extracted from Puerto Rico for years and years and years as a function of the Jones Act. This is a continuance of that same principle. That
well, I mean, it's not just the Jones Act. Jones Act is one thing, but there's one thing that I don't know what the right term is. But basically, if you look at all the goods that are created on the island and you compare it to the income of the island that stays on the island, there's a huge gap there, and that's not just the Jones Act.
Right. It's colonialism, right? I mean, it's the same. We're just extracting resources from this island because we do not allow them as American citizens to have the type of representation which would in any way inhibit that extraction.
Yeah. There's something I want to know what you think about is, so after the hurricane, a lot of people have been moving to the States, and that's like they can vote immediately.
Yep.
And a big location is Florida.
Yeah.
I think, especially listeners that are in Florida, you need to talk to Rubio, and I can't remember the other senator right now.
Bill Nelson.
Yes, Bill Nelson, that's it. And just get them to get in, because I think the tax bill will pass.
I do
because
too.
They just feel like they just have to do it. So I feel like if we can get this exemption in the conference committee, then just not to be selfish, but at the same time,
Puerto Rico's had a lot of trouble. Obviously, everybody's aware of it.
Nothing selfish about trying to slightly minimize at least some human suffering in a massive assault on the well-being of most people. Can I just jump in really quickly? This is a good thing, and it's an important thing. And apparently the judge overseeing the J20 case threw out the felony charge of inciting a riot against all of the six current defendants, and there's a motion to acquit on all their counts being considered now as well. So that's good news. It's very important.
Thank fucking God.
I appreciate the call. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos